Welcome to the Puck Crew. I'm your captain, Camille, and I have my alternates with me.
I'm Mal.
And I'm Robert.
And today we are diving into episode 2 of Heated Rivalry. And I just realized
Woohoo!
I didn't really explain alternates to you guys.
I mean, I would assume they take over if the captain is hurt or out or something.
That, but they're also they're allowed to talk to the refs on
Mm.
calls on the ice and stuff. So after a call or a penalty, you'll see a bunch of players around the ref, and sometimes they're just chirping and being dicks because they're like, I didn't do anything. But then other times, it's actually the captain being like, hey, let's talk about this. And so he's allowed to do that, and then his alternates, he's got 2 alternates, and they also are allowed to do that. So they wear that A for asshole on their
Ah,
jerseys. Yeah.
A for asshole.
so not just
Yeah.
anybody can fight with the ref. You have to have
No.
the little letter.
Everyone, Shane Hollander is an asshole.
I just have to say, I went to a lesbian bar last night with some friends for a friend's birthday, and we spent probably half of our time at this lesbian bar talking about heated rivalry. And then I came home and I spent like 5 hours reading really, really sad heated rivalry fan fictions. So
But you didn't read the one I sent you. Okay, there was one that I saw, and it was like Shane Hollander wakes up with a concussion in 2025, and he thinks it's 2018, and that Ilya Rozanov, who is his husband, is his rival, and doesn't remember that they're married and in love. And I was like, oh my god, I got a few chapters into that. That's actually the first one I've read, except, no, that's not true.
well, I was reading the one where Ilya fucking dies, so that's
Oh my god. We won't spoil what happens.
yeah,
but
in redacted event in the long game,
Yeah.
Ilya dies, and boy. And then I also
That
read
one-
one in which Shane had to retire because he got too many concussions, and that one almost was worse. I think I cried more reading that one for whatever reason.
And then there's also one that just charmed me to death is Ilya getting added to the WAGs group text.
Yes, that was
Because they
so
don't
good.
know that it's Ilya. They think it's a girl named Lily.
No,
And they're like,
that's
oh,
amazing.
add Shane's Lily. And the first texts from Ilya are just, what is this?
I'm obsessed with that fanfic.
That
No,
one is
there's some
great.
really good fanfic out there.
Yeah.
I'm having
yeah.
the time of my life. I have not consumed fanfiction like this in years, and I am
Yeah.
thriving. It's fantastic.
I'm reading these fanfics and just being like, I want these people to write their own books. I would love to
Yes.
read these books. They're doing great. Their writing is great. Oh my
Maybe
God.
instead of publishing Dramione fan fiction or whatever, we should be publishing Holland Out fan.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Because
I
there are
100%.
some beautiful novels out there.
Yeah. My
Fan
God.
fiction writers, you are God's strongest soldiers, and I hope that your pillow is always cold. I hope that your coffee is always warm or iced, however you like it. Just I'm kissing you on the forehead, I'm tucking you into bed. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so episode 2, Olympians. It is summer 2011, so we're still 19 years old.
God, babies.
I know. Monch 2, the song by Wet Leg that's playing, is such a banger. I love
It
this
is a good
song.
Honestly,
oh my God.
all the songs in this show, I need a playlist because
Yeah.
they're bangers.
I think there is one.
I'm sure there is. I
Yeah.
just need to listen to it.
Yeah. So I wanted to point out just the perfect lyric placement. There are a couple moments in this episode with perfect lyrics, and I wanted to point out the lyric is, you think I'm pretty, you think I'm pretty cool, you want to fuck me, I know most people do. Amazing over the montage. And then also later in the song, the lyric changes from you think I'm pretty cool to you think I'm pretty cruel. You say I scare ya, I know most people do. Ooh, oh my God. Just mwah, amazing. And I love that we're doing this simultaneous workout thing, because that was our first big moment of chemistry with the boys, is in that gym after the draft. And so now Jacob Tierney has lined up all these montages over the years, because we get these things written out in the books.
Mhm.
But what I thought was great is that there's not a lot that Jacob Tierney actually left out. He just included them in montages. like nods, right? Like the prologue is in the show, but I think it's like
Right.
episode 4. It's the montage at the beginning of episode 4 includes the prologue.
Yeah, and that's good because the prologue is depressing.
It's depressing, but it's also like there's a line that I do wish we'd got in the show. Is Ilya says there's no I in team, and Shane says there isn't suck my dick. It's amazing. That's so good. They're at the face off and it's the hat trick. He's like, oh, there's still time for a hat trick. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh God,
Oh
what a
my
great line.
God.
I do wish we'd got that. Maybe we'll see it in
Yeah.
season 2. Who knows?
that's
But
incredible.
I love that line.
I love how their cross training is like running. That
Yeah.
speaks to me as a runner. I'm like, you go, boys. You're probably way faster than me, and I spend way more time running than you do, I'm sure. But like,
How gay is running on a scale of 1 to 10?
how I do it, very.
Now we're cutting to fall of 2011. Ilya is still trying to get into Shane's pants. Shane is ghosting. Winter 2012. Shane is like responding, but he still won't meet him. And
See, I was like, my first watch of this, I was like, oh, surely they're like meeting up after all these texts.
no.
Nope.
Because they do in the book.
Clear now.
In the show, Jacob Tierney was like, we had to change that. But yeah, so in the show, they are not meeting up. And one thing I did notice, because I was going through these like time cards, and I was going, okay, fall 2011, winter 2012. Now consider winter 2012 doesn't mean the end of 2012. It probably means the beginning, because then it's like spring 2012. And I'm like, wait, after winter 2012? Oh, right.
Yeah, that throws me off every time as well, because I'm like, oh, December is winter. And but like winter doesn't start until like the 21st, 22nd of December most of the time.
Right. So then oh my God. Okay, so Shane is sitting in the airport, and behind him, I swear to God, it looks like a priest.
I think it is.
Standing behind him. And Shane is reading the text that says, wanna come while you're in Boston.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I love that he's like, this is not grammatically correct. And Ilya's like, yes,
Did you use Google Translate? It's Ilya's face when he's looking at his phone like, oh, yes, it does.
He wants him so bad it makes him look stupid.
Oh my God. Stupid and beautiful. So spring 2012, still Shane is playing hard to get. Ilya is chirping basically about like, oh, why aren't you in the playoffs? The playoffs are fun. Again, Ilya is so clear with his intentions, and Shane goes to text back and then just leaves him on red. Like, dude.
You hate to see it.
Like 2 years of leaving Ilya on red the majority of the time. I made a note that I'm kind of obsessed with how like unashamed Ilya is by the fact that he's a quadruple texter. He's just like, I know what I want and I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna play games. Ilya does not play games. The only game he plays is hockey.
He plays some emotional games. Like he's very open about wanting to sleep with Shane, but he is less open about the emotional side of things, I think.
I will get into that. I kind of think that's the Russia of it all. I think this is the episode where people are like, Ilya's an asshole. He's so toxic. But I have a different read on it. And so I will get into like, I think there's actually so much growth that happens in this episode for both of them, but they show it incredibly differently. So fall 2012, Ilya straight up sends Shane a dick pic and an address. And Shane still does not take the bait. By the way, Shane is in his hotel room, laying in bed. Hayden's in the bed next to him, and there's a ginger ale on the nightstand. Love the details.
I still have never seen the dick pic because I am never paying attention.
I paused on it. I had to see what we were working with.
Of course you did, Camille.
Nice call.
Oh my God. So, Shane again leaves him on red, but then after the game, because they're in the locker room, he's getting texts, he leaves him on red, and then after the game, when he's like cozy in his little bed, he finally texts Ilya back. And then we have the incredible line from JJ, if Rosenthal fucks you tonight, I'm gonna fuck him back. And Shane's like, what?
Shane's like, what?
God bless Hayden for being like, he's autistic. You can't say that.
I also think like JJ's whole deal with the like Shane Rosenau situation is he's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. Like, he's never
Mhm.
100% there, but like
But I
he's still
also
a good friend. I'm a JJ defender, I gotta say.
I'm not. I'm not. And I
Mm,
will say JJ is the one that I picked up on multiple times, including this kind of just this language, is the one that's saying the homophobic shit.
mm.
He's the one that calls Ilya a cocksucker.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's a lot of
But also
there's a
that's true. So
yes, but so there's a lot more. I would say there's a lot more language in the books regarding this. A lot more like use of slurs, like
Mhm.
casual use of slurs. And obviously we get Scott in episode 6 in his acceptance speech kind of goes over that and alludes to it. But there's a lot more of that language in the books. There's even a moment where someone calls Ilya a slur, and in his head Ilya's like, "Well, he's not wrong. I mean, he's half wrong. Well, he's only like 30% wrong." Like,
or he's
you
only
know?
30% correct,
Yeah,
I
so
think.
yeah, Ilya is like a 30-70 split bisexual. Yeah, a wonderful. I also just like the hockey culture, the hockey talk of it all. I really love Hayden being like, "What do you have to do to win tonight?" And Shane's like, "Well, it's a complicated and nuanced game, but it would help if we scored more fucking goals than the other team."
Honestly, put that man in a period piece, because that's a very good, like, old-timey radio voice. Like, I was impressed.
So now we're cutting to fall of 2013. Ilya is texting Shane before the game to make sure that Shane has a secret spare hockey stick, basically.
Oh my god.
He just wants to make sure he's prepared. I love like this like internal battle that Shane has over what to say back. Do you guys have any thoughts on all of Shane's like, I'm gonna say this, no, I'm not. No, I'm gonna say this, no, I'm not. Like what do you think? Where do you think that comes from?
Boy,
Do you have any
just send the
thoughts?
message. Just send the message. I think I don't know. I also am an overthinker, but I don't usually like when I have to send a text message that I am like nervous about, particularly when I am texting girls. I will workshop it in my head a lot before I actually send the message. And I think, we can't see what's happening in Shade's head, and I think this is his version of this. Like, he wants to say it perfectly in a way that like gets his point across, and also like he's nervous about saying too much or saying the wrong thing. And so I think it's an overthinking. I feel seen by it also as well, because I'm like, yeah, I do that.
Well, I'm actually sitting here realizing as you were saying that I think I just figured it out why he does all this typing and deleting. I think this is actually Jacob Tierney using unsent text messages as a vehicle to provide an internal monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet if you pulled up the book right now and looked at that scene, those are the thoughts in Shane's head. I don't have it handy
Oh,
right
where's the
now.
book? Let me get it.
Mal has the book.
What chapter
Thank you,
is it?
Mal.
Oh God, I don't know.
The texting conversation is pretty much straight up what
Oh,
happens.
this was dirty fucking pool, even for Rosanov. They didn't text each other before games, especially not about shit like that. He definitely wasn't gonna write back, and he definitely wasn't getting hard in his jockstrap.
But he was.
Yeah.
And then
And then
it switches to
over to
Ilya's
Ilya.
POV.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I love that his thought process behind the your mom is, yeah, that was pretty stupid, but Hollander loved his mom, so it probably would bother him.
Like, what's it like to have a living mom? Oh, I got him now.
I very much encourage anyone who's watching the show and hasn't read the books and maybe isn't even really interested in reading the books, do yourself a favor and just like compare. If you're watching a scene and you're going, I'm like, am I missing something? Pick up the book, read the internal monologue that's happening in that scene, and I promise, like, sometimes I feel like I'm missing the point and I'm like, am I misunderstanding all of this? Like, I'm so confused. What am I supposed to be gathering here? And that will help if you go read the internal monologues, at least in those scenes, because the dialogue is all very, very, like, pretty
Yeah,
much
very similar.
straight from the books. Reading the internal monologues will really help you to understand what you're seeing and why someone is acting the way they're acting, especially Ilya, especially in this episode.
And the
There's
books
a
are a lot of
lot
fun.
going on with him. The books are great. They really are.
But yeah, I agree with you about it being a way to do an internal monologue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
I don't know why I didn't pick up on that until now. But see, I guess that's one of those things of like, I don't, like, I've seen that episode a million times. I still couldn't figure out why, you know? But yeah, I love that. That's cool. Okay. I also love how slowly the texts start being typed. Everything is very intentional on this show. The speed at which they are typing out their replies. So like Ilya is very carefully like, where are we meeting? You know? And it's just like I love the care that goes into all of that. I love how like the text bubbles and things change over time throughout the show, and the text
And
message
the phones
notification
change over
sounds and the
time.
phones, and yeah. And there is a moment in this episode they did actually use like a very old phone to take the selfies on stage, and they had like so many ruined takes because the phones were taking so long to load that Connor would like hold up the phone to take a selfie, and Jacob Tierney would be like, and it's unusable. We got to start over because it was taking so long to load the camera. Then we get, I mean, there are so many just like perfect lines from the show. Never in life have I blushed. Russians do
That
not
is
do
one of my
this.
favorite Ilya lines. It's so funny.
I love this. And I love, if you don't know, Ilya does describe Marlowe as being like his best friend, basically,
Yeah.
in the book.
Your buddies.
So after the game, when Ilya comes into the stairwell with Shane and Shane shoves him against the wall, I'm obsessed. Again, Ilya is mouthing something here. He goes, "Oh my god," when Shane pushes him against the wall. And I love this like banter of shoving each other, trying to beat each other up the steps.
I'm like,
It's
what are they?
just
5 years old? It's impeccable.
Also, I can't believe you didn't mention "you will murder me" when he walks up to the building.
You will
girl.
murder me.
Because
You will
also
murder
you
me.
have that, and then after the sex scene, you have him saying
Mhm.
like, "You've killed me." Like,
You killed me, Hollander. I'm dead. He did actually, yeah. So I did leave that
so
out, but I
good,
posted about
so
that on
good.
social media. He says, "You will murder me," and then after the scene, he says, "You killed me. I'm dead." There's so much about all of this. This episode to me is so endearing because it's really tender in certain ways and then not. And so like the fact that like Ilya compliments the place and then Shane starts rambling about like, "Oh, I bought, fucking Mal hates Shane now because he's a landlord." And
We should all hate him because he's the landlord. What are you talking about?
No, you know that meme that's like the child with the gun crying, and it's like me when the class war happens and I have to eat the rich and I have to eat like insert some rich celebrity. That's me about Shane Hollander. I'm like when we eat the rich and I have to eat Shane Hollander, like I'm the crying child with the gun.
oh my god.
Though honestly, he's just like he's regular rich. He's not like hoarding
There's no
wealth
such
rich,
thing
really.
as regular. You know what? He's not
Well,
hoarding wealth, I guess, but also he does have investments, and he does have promotional deals, and he does have like
well, yeah.
various. He's gonna have various properties that, and he
Yeah.
fucking rents out one of these apartments that he has bought. I'm like, no, he's
Robert,
one of
you're
the
gonna
bad
hate
landlords.
this when I tell you this. In the book, this is not where Shane lives. Shane
Gasp.
specifically buys this place so that he has somewhere to hook up with Ilya that is not his home. He literally purchases
Another building.
this apartment
Yeah.
so that he has somewhere that is not home
He
and is
won't
not
let
a hotel.
Ilya see his real house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Understandable.
So, and Ilya's like, "Oh my god, you bought me a building?" It's great.
Mr.
So
Real Estate.
Mr. Landlord. I'm not mad about the fact that they changed this for the show. I do think it takes out a layer of complication. Totally fine with that. But he like starts talking about like, "Oh, I bought this and I'm gonna do this and I might do this." And Ilya teases him about it, and Shane says, "You asked," and Ilya says, "No, I didn't."
Because no, he didn't.
Because he didn't. And why do I find that so endearing? Something about that to me just tickles me. And I wonder if it's maybe because he immediately follows it up by kissing him, because he's like, "Did I just make Shane feel too awkward? Let me give him a little kiss."
It's like I didn't ask, but also I thought it was cute enough to kiss you. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. There's something really cute about it to me. It's very domestic. It's very domestic.
yeah. He loves that boring man. He loves that boring man.
Oh my god. I also want to point out we get this in the first book, but we didn't get it in season 1. The crucifix that Ilya wears is his mother's.
Gasp.
So that's why
they
he's
never
always
tell us
wearing
that
it.
in season 1?
They did not. No. They did not.
Oh, see, okay. I feel like
I
I've
want to
been
say,
consuming so much different Heated Rivalry media, like the books, the show, the fanfics. I'm
mhm,
like, I don't even
mhm.
know what's real anymore.
So I think what happens, I think that he tells, because Shane is playing with it in Tampa Bay after the All-Star
Mhm.
game while they're in bed. But we don't get that pillow talk in the show.
Mm.
And that's when Ilya's like, "Oh, it was my mom's," and Shane like puts it back and is like, "Oop," and like stops playing with it. He's like, "Oh, never mind." And then I can't. Every time I'm like, "I love this. I love this." When they walk into the room and Shane says that Ilya's an asshole, and Ilya says, "I think maybe you like it." And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why he continues to act the way he does.
he
Is
does.
because
The
he
fighting
knows
is
that Shane likes it.
foreplay.
Yes. Yes. And he knows like it makes Shane competitive, and he likes when Shane is competitive, and he knows that that's how to get Shane to come out of his shell, is to get him into a competitive headspace, right? And so the whole like come here, no you come here, that's straight up, that is from the book. They do go back and forth and say no you come here. And so good. So good. So tender. And the music, Peter, the genius that you are, the song in this scene is an original song, and the lyrics to the song, the vibe of it's just perfect for the scene.
Yeah.
But another thing about the come here, no you come here, is I think they're using this little bit of dialogue to make it very clear that they both really want to be there and that they are on equal footing. Like, it's not like Shane's being bossed around because he's a little bottom or something like that, which I think is a really common thing for people to be like, he follows order. No, he's a
Yeah.
captain in his own right. He's a millionaire. He's, all this other stuff. He just likes to get to surrender control of certain things. So,
Yeah. We also have the return of pillow hater Ilya here.
yeah.
He comments on the number of pillows on Shane's bed, and I actually sent
Yeah.
Camille a picture of my bed at my parents' house because like I don't know where
Your
half
mom,
these pillows
what the
came
hell?
from. Yeah.
It's like a whole, is it a cross?
It's
It's like across the top of your bed and all the way down the
yes.
center.
No, like they take up the entire bed. There are so many pillows. And every time I come home, I'm like, there are more pillows on this bed. It's crazy.
We
But
also have
yes,
the
my
return
mom
of
did buy me all those pillows. Thank you for asking, Ilya.
We also have the return of Consent King Ilya. I think we have like 5 consent checks in this sex scene.
Making sure he's still having a good time.
So sexy.
For our first time.
My god. So good. I love it. And then, of course, my note here, Shane folding like a lawn chair, is so relatable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's same, bestie. I also want to be clear, Shane does not say Rosie. I don't know what the hell kind of crack they were smoking when they did the subtitles for the show at HBO. There are also like the pool scene in
there are
episode
some
5,
incorrect subtitles.
when Ilya says "boo splash her," it says "flesher,"
Flesher, yeah.
and I'm like, what? I don't know if they used AI. Like, I don't know what happened, but the subtitles are horrible. He does not say Rosie. If you listen, I hear the full Rosanov. I hear the full name. So
yeah, Rosie
no.
feels a little intimate.
Yeah, and Rachel Reed, specifically after the episode came out, she posted on her story on Instagram, and she was like, to be clear, Shane would never say Rosie. And people were like, whoa, she's throwing shade at the show. And she was like, no, I'm telling you that the subtitles are wrong. So, but yeah, no, at this point, we're like 3 consent checks in.
No, if
then
Shane
we get
had
a
said
4th.
Rosie, he would have run away like 3 episodes
yeah.
earlier. Like, let's be...
Yeah, no.
I guess
there's no way.
Episodes.
And I think I started to think about like part of like this cultural issue that we still run up against. And again, I'm like saying this as someone who's not a gay man.
What?
Is so sorry to let you know. We have this issue where people, like, if we can be very blunt about it, and like I think this is part of the big difference between us covering the pit and us covering Heated Rivalry, is we're going to be talking so much about sex. And I'm going to try to just be very blunt about it.
I want to imagine, but we also talked about sex in the pit, but it's just like imaginary
as a joke,
between...
Yeah, Robert's infamous horny thought.
I know. Oh my god, I was literally thinking about that. I die every time. So, but we still have these people who say things like, I didn't know gay men could have sex in missionary.
That was one of the funniest things I heard on one of these like hockey podcasts that cover the show. These hockey podcasts empty netters are fucking freaks, and I love them. They're allies.
I love them. I do. I do. I've been listening to their coverage, and honestly, like, good for them. They seem like really great guys. I do get like a little frustrated when I listen to them just because sometimes I'm like, no, you're wrong. That's wrong. But I will say, I love how much they love the show. There's no toxic, like, oh my God, we saw his butt. They were like, I'm bricked up. These are straight men over here. Like, oh man, he said this and I was bricked up.
Listen,
I love
that's
that.
how you gotta consume media. Even if you are not attracted to men, like, you gotta consume this show in like I'm gonna pretend to be attracted to men for the 40 minutes, 50 minutes that I'm watching this episode, and then after the fact I can go back to my regular life. But yeah, I'm also gonna appreciate how nice Connor Story's butt looks. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but people are like, I didn't know gay men could have sex in Missionary, and I'm like, that's
You are not
so what
reading
you're
enough
telling
fan
me
fiction, my
is,
friend. I've known that since I was like 14. So
if we want to dig down into what that potentially says about the like general thought that people have about gay men and their sex lives, is the fact that they're saying, when you're saying that, what you're telling me is you thought they only did doggy style, and that seems dehumanizing. Because that's not terribly romantic when you think about it, right? So, like,
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying when you're out here saying, I didn't think gay men had sex like other men, is like, well, what the fuck did you think they did?
I mean, I think, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I prefer, like, when I come out as gay to someone, like, I don't really want them thinking about, like, what I'm doing in the bedroom.
Right.
So I almost prefer people to be like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that that's what was happening. Because I think, to me, that says, like, we weren't really thinking about it that hard.
I don't want to,
don't know.
Well, Robert, do you have thoughts?
Well, firstly, if I come out as queer or bi to someone and they're like, "Oh, what do you do in the bedroom?" Like,
Sleep there.
I sleep there and I lay on my bed watching too many TikToks and also
I
Percy
sleep
Jackson a
with
lot.
my boyfriend's IKEA shark.
I sleep with my boyfriend. I sent you a Snapchat earlier that was like, sometimes you can sleep on your boyfriend's pillow pet as a treat. It is your right.
But if we're getting away from like just that thought process of like I want to almost encourage, like, go deeper in not just thinking about people thinking about thinking about your sex life, but it's this idea that when confronted with media that shows this, people are like, I didn't think that was possible.
Here's the thing: as a not straight dude person who has held hands with other not straight dude people, I don't care what people assume. Like, I think it's funny, like, when, especially when Empty Netters is like, "Oh, I didn't know missionary was possible." Like, I thought that was kind of funny, and a lot of people in their comments thought it was funny. So, like, maybe I'm not the right person to ask this question, because I just sort of like, it's funny as long as people learn. Like, they're not intentionally saying it like, "Oh, they're not intentionally saying it
Gay
to be
men
like,
don't have sex like this." I won't say this man's name, but
they're just like, oh, I never really thought about it, but like, does the position work? Do like body parts? Do this? Do that? Like, they're just curious. I'm like, okay, fine.
I think there's something about it to me that feels like people are making it like alien in a way that's always bothered me. But again, I don't know. I think that there is this like cultural pressure for them to be hyper masculine, and so hyper masculine that they can't even think about or consider or know anything about women's periods or gay men or anything that could potentially,
or about women's bodies in general.
Yes, right. Because if you know anything about anybody other than yourself and your own body and your own pleasure, that's gay. And it's like,
fellas, is it
come
gay to know things about women?
Is it gay to like women? Ew.
Labia majora, how much pussy do you need?
Oh my god. So I think, I don't know, and I do want to, like, I'm not going to say his name because I'm so sick and tired of hearing this man's name everywhere, but very early on when the show came out, there was a celebrity who did an interview and basically took shots at the show and said that gay men don't have sex like that, and then totally unprompted later on in his interview then said something about straight actors playing gay characters, and the interviewer was like, to be clear, we do not know the sexualities of the two leading men in this show.
I'm
and
so sick of that argument. Like, I do not care if
Mhm.
you are queer in real life, when you are playing a queer character, as long as you are treating them with the same respect and
Mhm.
going at it the same going at it
Yeah.
is not the right word.
Wild
But like,
choice.
you know, putting in the same like effort and not treating it any differently than like if it was a straight character. Like, and I feel like both Hudson and Connor do that very well, where
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, I
Very
don't
beautifully.
care. I don't care what they're
And they're
doing in
very
real life.
thoughtful. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing
And
that I always want to point out when people are like, "Oh, we need to know," like the whole Kit Connor of it all, and maybe
mhm.
not exactly applicable to Kit Connors because I don't know the
Can you
laws in
explain
the
that for
UK.
people that don't know? Because I'm very, very not.
So Kit
Yeah.
Connor is one of the main leads in another very nice queer show,
Heartstopper.
Heartstopper,
Yeah.
and his character Nick is
Is bi
canonically
actually.
bisexual. Is bi actually, and many times people were harassing him to be like, "Hey, are you actually bi? We want an actually bi person to play this character." Blah blah blah,
Mhm.
and eventually it got to a point where he just went on Twitter and he was like, "Okay, I'm hopping on just to say this. Yes, I'm bi. Fuck y'all for forcing me to out myself. You didn't learn
Mhm.
anything from the show." And then that's it. Cold turkey gone. Well, not like gone. He's still on the show.
Mhm.
They just finished
But
filming
he like
the movie, like the last season turned into a movie. But like he's had a very sour taste against the fandom ever since.
Mhm.
yeah. And like
And
I think especially with the Heartstopper situation, like they were both cast really young. And
mm,
I mean Connor and Hudson are also very
very
young.
young.
Like
Very
Yeah.
young.
I didn't realize that I mean I've kind of had an inkling that I was queer since like high school when I was like
Mhm.
14, 15. But I did not really explore that until I was in my early 20s. So expecting, you know, these kids who are taking these roles to know everything about themselves, just it feels unfair. Like you can't
Mhm.
expect like perhaps they'll discover something about themselves through this role. Like great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
The,
think
the
people should be allowed to experience different kinds of things regardless of their own personal
Mhm.
life experience. I don't know.
The other
Mhm.
thing is that I don't know about like the UK and Canada or whatever, but I do know that at least in America, it's illegal to
Yeah.
use
Ask.
someone
Yeah.
to ask someone's sexuality and like have that be part of
Yeah.
the
Right.
criteria for a hiring process. Like that's illegal.
Right.
Even for a show where you're like the characters are queer in some way,
Mhm.
shape, or form. Do you
Mhm.
match? You can ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that Jacob Tierney's done a great job of from the very beginning shutting that down because they Connor and Hudson were asked in a very early interview and Jacob was there and he was like, "I'll take this question. We're not talking about it." And so like I don't know, Jacob Tierney as a gay man, I think has done a really wonderful job in protecting these two as much as he can. And he's done it with his whole chest. He also has said so many things about protecting media that women are interested in and defending why women are interested in certain things
Yeah.
and but yeah I just think they've done a great job and so to finish up like that thought process is that this actor who was doing this interview made a comment about straight people playing gay characters and then the interviewer did a fantastic job of saying we don't know that and
Mm-hmm.
then this man followed up by saying well then I'll be the bitch that says it they need to come out if they are.
Terrible.
um, so HBO, I literally don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how much you try to make me watch this man's show. I don't give a fuck how much like damage control you try to get Hudson Williams to do. I will never fucking watch this show. I will never fucking watch anything that man is in. He's a bully. He has a mean spirit. He's jealous. And so like and I again, I'm not going to say his name because I'm so sick and tired of this man, but I thought that was really important to bring up. Just that, like, even like the gay
Mind your own business.
community.
Mind your own business. Who
Yeah.
cares?
So I don't know. Yeah, there's that. That's my thought
You don't
process
know
on
them
that.
like
And
that. So
yeah, exactly.
enjoy the characters that they've given us and let that be enough. The end.
Yeah, yeah. So back to the show. Right after Shane and Ilya both have an orgasm, the lyric of the song is "What the hell are you?" And to me, I just was like so struck by that
What are
because
we?
this is what are you like? Oh my god! Like because they're having this moment of like this episode. I think this episode Ilya is falling in love. I don't think Shane is, but I think that Ilya is.
Mm.
And so I think we have this moment of what the hell? Like, oh no, like this, but it's still very tender. It's not like, oh my God, what the hell? It's like, what the hell are you? I didn't expect this to happen. like all this, you know?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was brilliant. Peter, again, just incredible work on this music.
And then Shane is immediately stressed that the bed is dirty.
Again,
That boy
straight
hates
from
mess.
the book.
He
Straight
hates
from the
mess.
book. Literally, the now the bed's all dirty, what? Shut up is straight from the book. But I love the immediate change from Ilya being like, shut up, and then he's like, I'll go take a shower. I love that. It's just those little things. But doesn't this scene actually happen in a hotel? Don't they hook up for the first time in a hotel in the book? But Shane, like, doesn't like the dirty bed, and so in the hotel, he, like, grabs all the sheets, and then he's like, oh, what do I do with this? And then he throws them on the ground, and then he leaves a big fat tip for housekeeping.
And you know what? At least we have that.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Ilya gets spooked by the forehead kiss? What's your read?
No, surprise, yes. Spooked I think would imply like he applies a negative connotation to it, maybe.
I wouldn't say negative per se. I would be more inclined to say that he, like, it makes him think about something he wasn't quite ready to think about. It makes him consider something he wasn't prepared for. Which is that
I
maybe
think he continues lying to himself about what he feels for Shane for a while.
Sure. But I also think that this could be a moment where Ilya has this clarity of like, I know I really like this kid. Unfortunately, I now think that he might like me, and that's really scary. That's even more dangerous.
I can't stop thinking about this slow hockey player with beautiful freckles.
And I will say that line did get changed a little bit. It's a short fucking hockey player with stupid freckles.
He's not short.
Which, right, he's not short. There is a height difference in the books. I'm so glad there's not one in the show. And then he doesn't call them stupid freckles, but I think I like both lines, but they both work for the medium that they are, because Ilya has never mentioned the freckles in the show up until that point, and so it would be wrong for him to, very first time he saes it, call them stupid.
Yeah.
In the book,
we can talk about that more in episode 6, but
yeah. So now we're talking about going to Sochi for the Olympics. I am obsessed with how Shane is like cradling Ilya's coat, and he's all like just like bundled up in the stairwell with Ilya's coat and his hood up and his knees
cozy.
up. He looks so cozy. It's so domestic. It's so cute. It's like I'm seeing my lover off. They're going on a trip or something like that. It's so wonderful.
He's adorable in this stairwell.
Yeah, and I think that this is like one of my favorite kisses of the whole show. And I think that that is a pretty I don't think that's a hot take.
No.
No, this is so tender and so sweet. Like, this to me was the first time, like watching this for the first time, I was like, I kind of like them. And then they got like weird and intense again. Then I was like, I don't know if I'm on board.
This is where you were first like, these bitches gay, good for them.
Yeah, because I am not, like, I can't just, read smut. Like, there's gotta be feelings involved. I have to know that the characters like each other because of who I am as a person. And, like, just watching this for the first time, I was like, I think they like each other, but also I'm like, I'm not sure. And so But
I think that's also why the books helped you.
Yes. The books,
because we do get that internal monologue. Yeah. So what I really like about this kiss is that, like, it's another meet me halfway moment. Like, Ilya doesn't go all the way in, right? He doesn't totally crowd Shane's space. He makes Shane meet him, like he goes down to his level, but then he makes Shane meet him where he's at.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like to see that initiative from Shane to be the one to actually kiss him. And I will say there was an interview where Jacob Tierney said that he had to kind of fight to keep this kiss in, because when they filmed it, Kala Hunter, the intimacy coordinator, was like, was that too sweet though? Like, that felt too sweet for the moment, because there's supposed to be tension here. And he was like, maybe, but I just want to watch them kiss. Like, it was wonderful. He was like, I just want to watch them kiss. Like, that's great.
You know what? Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. But yeah, like, this whole thing just like gives me butterflies. I love this little stairwell scene. And then Shane's body language, as opposed to the first time they hook up, is so different here, because his shoulders aren't hunched in. He's not like got his arms crossed tight across. He's not trying to make himself small. He's just cozy, Yeah. We've got this like very mirrored moment of Ilya getting dressed and saying goodnight in a very tender way. And Shane, in contrast to the first time, now he's open. His shoulders are low. Yes, he's got his arms crossed, but it's relaxed. It's not like he's like trying to cave in on himself. There's not like a... When Ilya leaves the first time, he says holy shit and like puts his hands over his face. He doesn't do that here. He closes his eyes because he's like relaxed, you know? And so I loved the mirror of that. It's winter 2014. We are in Russia for the Olympics. Russia ate shit, basically. Did not do well.
Did this happen in real life?
I believe so.
Yeah, who won the medals in hockey? Because the show is not clear. And I know
because it's not Canada and Russia, I don't really think it matters. Oh, this was part of like the doping scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, Russia did win 33 medals, which is the highest ever for their country in the Olympics. Performance was marred by controversy. It was revealed that the Russian Olympic team had been involved in a state-sponsored doping program, which was active during the Olympics. It led to disqualification of 43 Russian athletes and the stripping of 13 medals from the Russian team. Yeah.
So, according to Wikipedia, the 2014 Winter Olympics, the gold medalist for Canada, the silver medalist for Sweden, the bronze medalist for Finland, and then fourth place was the US.
Sorry, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Not even silver. So we get this first I think it's the first like audio of this podcast called Man in the Crease, which I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting the name of the guy, but one of the hosts is actually like a big name in hockey. This is a fake podcast, it's not real, they made it up for the show, but there's a very famous person in the hockey world who is a friend of Jacob Tierney's and does the voice for one of the hosts of the podcast. So the podcast is called Man in the Crease. For people who don't know hockey, the man in the crease is the goalie. The crease is that blue ice that the goalie is in. So the man in the crease is the goalie. It is like a very generic, boring name for a podcast, but it is clever in that, like, when I think about it, I think about the goalie is like eyes on the puck at all times, knows what's going on everywhere at all times. He never has a moment to rest because everything changes rapidly. So
are we allowed to talk shit with a sub podcast name called the Puck Crew?
Should we be called the Puck Bunnies?
No.
No.
Do you know what a Puck Bunny is?
I do not. No,
they're like hot girls who go after hockey players. They're called Puck Bunnies. Yeah. It's
me
better than the Puck Bunnies
at a women's hockey game. I really am trying to go see the New York Sirens, so
do it. Okay, so Shane is once again ignoring text messages from his mother about wearing Reeboks. Wild. You make so much of your money
never
through these deals.
A single Reebok.
Still none. And if you pause and you look at the texts, when he switches over to his text thread with Ilya, okay? I notice this because I notice everything. If you pause and you zoom in, it is currently February 13th of 2014. So day before Valentine's Day. And Shane is looking at old text messages with Ilya from when Ilya comes to his place to hook up. Shane says, "It's off de la gauchetière. Please use the back entrance." And Ilya sends back the grinning devil emoji.
And then Shane sends back an eye roll, but the eye roll emoji wasn't available on Apple until 2015. And these are also like Apple emojis on his BlackBerry device.
But I'm like gagged. Use the back entrance, please. That's insane. That's insane. Oh, and then we have Carter Vaughn and Scott Hunter, obsessed with them both. Love them both. Now, Mal, you've read the books that Carter Vaughn is in, or the book that he's in. I have not yet, because Barnes & Noble called me to tell me my books were in, and I went all the way out there to get them, and they didn't have any of the books I'd ordered. And they were like, well, we put them out on the shelf. And I was like, okay. And then I called all the other bookstores in the area, and they were like, we don't have any. Sorry, we're out again. So Vonnie drops this fun fact that I guess a lot of people don't consider, just because it is 2025, or a lot of people who aren't gay don't consider the fact that, like, it's not, this is 2014. It's not safe in Russia for gay people. It's not safe for gay people in Russia in 2025. Certainly not in 2014.
I mean, also, like, gay marriage is not even legal in the US yet at this as well.
What? Oh my god. I was like, in 2025?
No, in 2014. No.
I was so confused. I was like, what happened while I was asleep? Did we bomb another country? Jesus, like, what the hell?
No.
Oh,
currently,
God.
yes. In this day and age, in 2026, Camille, also, it's not 2025 anymore.
Happy New Year.
But like poor Vonnie has no idea that he's sitting at a table with two closeted gay men.
Yeah. Russia is not safe for gay people. Isn't that so
Mm.
crazy? He says to two gay people, bro, your gaydar needs some work.
Mm,
Not that I would look at Shane Hollander and Scott Hunter and be like, those are gay men.
no. Yeah, I wouldn't either. So now Ilya is avoiding his family. Clearly, they are very pissed, especially his father, that he lost while wearing Russia's name. You know, he's not representing his country well. I wanted to reread this scene in the book. So watching this episode actually took me extra time because I started pulling out the book and comparing the
Good,
internal
as you
monologue.
should.
Yeah, so Shane finds Ilya and he is just like steely. He will barely make any eye contact. Like it's just
Yeah.
ugh. And so Shane mentions
This
in the
makes me
book
sad.
that So Shane mentions in the book that he thinks that Ilya looks like shit. And that the playful spark that he's come to know as like defining Ilya as a person is extinguished. Totally not there. And he also says that Ilya he's like literally scanning and looking around like he's assessing for threats. And so I wanted to read this part from the book. It says, "You didn't answer my text, and I thought ... Suddenly, all the ways Shane might finish that sentence seemed stupid. I thought you were in danger. I thought you were in jail. I thought you were sad." Ugh. And then we also get Rozanov was being an asshole, which was nothing new, but he didn't seem to mean it. In fact, Shane would bet that Rozanov would actually really like him to stay. He looked like he could use a hug.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this scene and thinking Ilya is such an asshole, I'm getting whiplash, he's scared for his life.
Right. And the weight of being home in a place where you cannot be yourself cannot be understated. Like, Shane doesn't understand that part of Ilya yet, I feel like.
Shane is protected. Shane is very privileged in that he's never felt like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but there's never a point in the books at which Shane feels like his life is in danger for the fact that he's gay. Not saying that being Canadian immediately makes it so that, like, queer people, there's always more of a threat to queer people everywhere than, you know. But the Shane has never had a moment where he was like, if someone finds out my secret, they will kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I also picked up on the fact that...
Because I think gay marriage was legal in Canada at this point.
Oh, for a while. It was legal since 2005.
Okay, yeah.
Man, wow. So I also wondered, like, I don't know if you guys maybe picked up on this or what your thoughts are on this, but when Shane says you didn't answer my text and Ilya says, no, I didn't answer your boring text, is he kind of like hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I'm calling you boring? That's our shtick?
Yes.
I think yes, probably, but I also don't think Shane is going to pick up on that.
No, Shane absolutely does not. Shane does not pick up on it, but I think in a way that that's Ilya trying to be like, we're good, we're fine.
Well, and also just like knowing how much he craves the boring, it makes me very sad that he can't answer the boring text no matter how much he wants.
No matter how many times he looks at it, because we know he looks at it. So then we have Ilya with his father. His father's just like laying into him about shit performance and how he needs a haircut and his bow tie is all fucked up and it's not. But just like Ilya can't do anything right.
Yeah.
Ever. And he tries to stand up for himself and says, the team didn't click, the goalie was injured, blah, blah, blah. And his father's like, you're always looking for someone to blame since you were a child. And I kind of started to think about like Ilya and his mother and like how that came into play. Again, this is something that we don't get in the show, but Ilya's father, when trigger warning for mental health, suicide, things like that.
Trigger warning, Ilya's father.
When Ilya finds his mother and she's dead, his father tells him to tell everyone that it was an accident because they're not going to say that she committed suicide. It was an accident. And so that's why when he does admit it to Shane, he says it was an accident. She accidentally swallowed a whole bottle of pills. Because, oops, yeah. The line in the book is oops.
Yeah.
Because I wonder how that came into play in that moment of Ilya's life of how did his father throw that at him there, that you're always looking for someone else to blame, Yeah. I don't know that I have an answer, but I was thinking about that.
And I don't want to think about that enough to come up with an answer because then I'll be sad.
So sad. So,
Let's go back to having
um,
sex, please.
I think this is our first confirmation that Irina is dead. I think this is the
Yeah.
first time we find out that, because Ilya hasn't mentioned her, he specifically left her out when Shane asked about his family. But I think this is the only time, or the first time that we find out that she's dead.
I think I
Um,
remember because Robert and I watched these together at my apartment with Camille
with
on
me.
FaceTime with us.
Yeah.
Robert, I feel like I remember you saying something in response to this episode about like this is like Ilya's tragic backstory and like now we're supposed to like feel sorry for the toxic guy or whatever. I can't remember exactly what you said, but I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
something like that.
that sounds very similar to something I would have said at the beginning, where I'm like, oh, this guy, am I right?
And we just like lean harder into, clearly Ilya's father's not well, even more so now. He can't even remember that his wife is dead, and then Ilya kind of gives him an out, talking about his stepmother Paulina. And now we overhear this conversation. I mean, Ilya is so kind to the people who hate him the most, in that he takes
Yeah,
very good tender care of his father, in reminding him, we're going to this party, I'm going to meet the minister,
this man who
you
has
know.
done nothing but hate him, he is
Mm.
so kind to, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
you don't deserve him. They don't deserve him.
There's a quote from the long game where Shane says to Ilya, like, you're very soft with the people that you love. And Ilya's like, yes, but don't tell anyone. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? I think it's near the end of the book, but I just, that kind of rings in my head as I'm thinking about this. And so,
He's such a lover boy.
yeah, he's very soft inside. Oh, there's another moment. I think it is, I also think it's in the long game, but he says, oh, so he says something in Russian and Shane understands what he's saying. And he says, oh, so you know my secret. And Shane's like, what's your secret? And he's like, that I'm mushy inside. And it's like, oh, God. So, we have,
Yes, and we
and
love you for it.
we love you so much for it. Ugh, Ilya. We overhear a conversation between Svetlana and Ilya's fathers, and Svetlana's father is talking about how it was bad goaltending, blah blah blah. And then Ilya's dad just like totally rips into Ilya in front of him and is like, "Oh, it's bad leadership. It always comes down to bad leadership." Ilya
And
is so
Ilya's just
checked
kind of
out.
dissociating here. Like
He's yeah. He's so dissociated. I love the effect that the conversation that's happening is muted, because we are Ilya, we're hearing it, but we're not really hearing it. All we
Yeah.
know is that they're talking shit. And then it even takes him an additional second or two after Svetlana begins to talk before he like blinks and snaps out of it.
Yeah.
That's how far gone he is. And so we know that in the show, Svetlana has very carefully organized this conversation with Sasha. This is not in the books. But Svetlana has set this up because she thinks it will be good for Ilya to see Sasha. Sasha, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. So much.
But also, like, of the people that we have, like, the queer people that we've met so far in this show, I feel like Sasha is the most obviously queer. Like, an outsider would look at this guy and be like, yes, this is a gay man. And that's just, like, fascinating to me, that I'm like, this guy is just walking around Russia and no one is like, this might be a homosexual.
Can I counter that?
Sure, yes.
Okay, so he dresses very European.
That is true.
And also, there is no gay Russian accent. You know how like a lot of dialogues we have gay accents, or what we'd call a gay accent?
Yeah.
There is no gay Russian accent, because of the phonetics of Russian. It's not possible. Like, I talked to my friend about this and they were like, it's not possible. There is no gay accent. So you can have like a regional accent, but there's no gay. Like, you wouldn't walk around and be clocked as being gay for the way you're talking in Russia, like you would be
that's fair.
here.
I forgot about the European of it all.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Like, you forgot about Ilya's hideous leopard shirt in the club.
Oh, right.
Oh my god, I hate that
hideous
shirt. I'm so
no,
sorry.
I love that shirt. I think it's hilarious. He is slaying.
So, but Svetlana though, oh my god, like I think this is the first like real scene that we have with her. I'm obsessed with her. I think everybody in their right mind is obsessed with Svetlana. God, she's amazing. I love that she goes so deep into her thoughts and feelings on the season and how it's going to pan out and all this stuff. And then Sasha calls her a psychic when Ilya's like, how do you know this? Sasha calls her a psychic, which kind of mirrors David calling Yuna a witch. when she's talking about how Scott Hunter's going to win the cup. So I love that. And I honestly, I want to fire the hosts of Man in the Crease, and I want Yuna and Svetlana to take their places.
Yes.
That would be the best fucking hockey podcast
I would listen
ever.
to that podcast.
Oh my god. Sasha's talking about Paris after Svetlana leaves, and
we don't care about Paris.
I don't
Sasha.
give a fuck about Paris, bro. Let's talk about Montreal, bitch.
Paris,
we're talking another
boys.
French.
Yeah. He wants another boy who speaks French,
he
wants
a French
Paris.
Canadian, not a French boy. Ilya's body language when Svetlana leaves becomes incredibly guarded and very protective. He puts both feet on the ground. He crosses his arms across his chest. He squares his shoulders. He lifts his chin. He's very guarded. And I think this is the perfect example of how quickly it has changed for Ilya, in that he is not interested in risk and danger anymore. But I also thought it was interesting that Sasha calls him out for not being fun. And two of the examples that he says is he doesn't make jokes and he doesn't flirt back. I'm like, maybe he does.
And he doesn't do coke.
Yeah, he doesn't do coke, which, good. Okay.
Good.
Well,
my question was, I was like, was he doing coke at some point?
God.
Allegedly, it seems, but good, no more. Now we just got to get him to stop smoking.
Because, like, he moved to America when he was like 18. So that would mean he was
casual sex when he was 14.
I know, but that's too early for both of those things.
I feel like in the book, it's mentioned that like Ilya never really got into that. But I need to like fact check that. I don't know. So one thought that I missed is just like, I love how much Ilya very, very, very clearly loves Svetlana. Even down to like the little ways of the way they speak to each other. Instead of saying goodbye, he says bye-bye to her as she's leaving. And so I love that. And
that's
then
his bestie.
That's his best friend. That's his girl. And I just like, there's only so long that you can live off of danger and have it be fun until like your nervous system is shot. And at this point, Ilya's nervous system is shot because this is the first time that he's in Russia in love with a man. That's never happened before. So now he's like, oh shit, it's not just physical, it's more than that. This is deeper. This is so dangerous for me. And so he's put up these walls to everyone, including Shane. But yeah, I'm just like, that's, and every time I see the scene where he looks at Sasha and says, "Niet," oh, bruh. I'm like, yes, that's my man right there.
Niet means niet.
Niet means niet. So immediately after Sasha is getting ready to leave, he's like checking his text messages from Shane, bruh. And he's like looking up and shaking his head like, I'm so fucked. Why do I find comfort in knowing that someone wants to know if I'm okay? Ugh. So it's spring 2014. We're in Montreal. Shane has showed up to the Pikes house to watch the finals with the boys. I've never heard of a Stanley Cup matinee final. Like, okay. Wild. We do occasionally have games that start at like 2 p.m. instead of 7. But yeah, wild.
Not the final.
No. It is very important to note, a lot of people say, oh, with Ilya is the only place that Shane finds his ginger ale. That's not true. He also always has ginger ale at the Pikes house.
Also, how old is he here? Like, is he old enough to legally... What's the drinking age in Canada? Is it 18?
Question mark?
Well, but he is also, at this point, 23.
Okay.
Yeah, so he can drink anywhere.
Because it's very funny that he brings wine just for Jackie to be like, okay, ginger ale's in the fridge.
No, I know. She's like, what is this for? And he's like, I don't know. My mom told me to bring it. That's so cute.
It's so cute.
God.
I know, that's also me, because I got invited to a coworker's like adult Christmas party for the first time, and I was like, guys, what do I bring? Camille was like,
what do I do?
Yeah, Camille was helping me pick out like what I should bring to this work Christmas party. Yeah, but it was fun. I was like, wow, my first real adult gathering, and I'm 27, so I'm obsessed with how injured the Metros are in this scene.
Because this is exactly what Svetlana was saying.
Yeah,
this is exactly what she was saying.
You've got the guy in the back, I think is their goalie, right? He's got his foot up on the couch with a boot on. JJ's in a sling. Hayden's got black eyes, and then Shane's just sitting there like normal. Like, it's funny to me.
But it's a great.
I'm like, man, these poor Metros.
Yeah, I know. This is a great nod as to why they're not in the finals, right? Is
Right.
because they're all injured.
And also just how brutal hockey is, because good lord.
I will never forget watching my favorite player slide into the boards and break his femur on live
Oh my
television.
gosh.
He
That's
was
hot.
like 20 years old at the time. He came back the next season. It was crazy. But no, that clip you just watch and you're like, because his legs are straight and he goes into the boards and he gets
Oh,
hit and he's down on the ground and he does not get up. And you're like, oh,
oh
fuck. He broke
no.
his femur in the middle of a playoff game. Insane.
Hockey is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like football, but they have blades on their feet.
I know, right? Jesus. I do love, okay, there are a couple little things that get mentioned here. I love the fact that Jackie is telling them to stop swearing and to be quiet because of course she is constantly trying to get them to stop swearing.
And okay, I'm sorry. She also says she just put the kids down. I was like, why would you
Mhm.
have everyone over if you just put the kids down? Like, go to Shane's, go to somebody's who doesn't have
What?
kids.
Yeah, everyone's like making noise and cursing. She's like, "Don't curse!" And I'm
You
like,
got
"Bro,
everybody over to watch a hockey game and your kids are sleeping?
That's just the wag life, man.
you-"
I also really like the note that Shane can hardly grow a beard because that is
Yeah.
canon in the books. Is like he doesn't grow a great beard.
Poor Shane.
I love Ilya's speech in the locker room.
Yes.
Where the hell was Connor's story? Because that's not Connor's
No,
story.
that is not Connor's story. That is
that's
Ilya.
different, man.
He was possessed by the spirit of Ilya Rosanov.
Fucking fuck San Francisco. Oh my god.
I would follow that man into battle. I really would. I was hyped. I was like, they're gonna win this game because of that great locker room speech. And see, this is why I think Ilya is a better captain than Shane.
I agree with you.
They have very different leadership styles, but I feel like Ilya just kind of lends himself more to like getting a team hype and getting a team ready. And I also think Ilya is more of a safe space for people than Shane. We
see a lot of that throughout the series that we don't get in the show. We don't get Ilya with his teammates as much as we do Shane with his.
Yeah.
But I think that adds to the loneliness that Ilya feels that we're trying to portray to our audience here. There's a moment in the book, Ryan Price is mentioned later on in the show, that he's an enforcer, which is just like a defenseman, and he's like there to take the hits. And they're on a plane, and this is not going to be included, I guess, because we're done with season 1, so this isn't going to get adapted. But they're on a plane, and Ryan is clearly very nervous. And he's got a book. He's reading a book, but he's got it on his knee, like he's saving his page with his knee, and he's got his eyes closed, and he's freaking out. And Ilya looks over and notices that he's freaking out, and it's the most endearing thing because Ilya's like, okay, if he doesn't stop freaking out, he's going to drop his book and he's going to lose his page. So I have to get him to stop freaking out so he doesn't lose his page. And finally, he gets Ryan's attention, and Ryan drops his book, and the line is that like Ilya watches in dismay as the book falls, and then the line is, he had failed. And I'm like, oh my god. If you want to know the inside of Ilya's head, he's like, I have to help him, he's gonna lose his page on his book. I failed. Like, that's Ilya.
Yeah, no, he cares so much, and he
cares very deeply about a lot of people. I will say I'm willing to concede that like technically Shane is the better hockey player. He does win skills competitions against Ilya time and time again. And also I think that two things can be true at once, that technically Shane is a better, and I don't say technically in like, oh well technically, I say like Shane is in the technicalities a better hockey player. Ilya's the better captain.
Ilya,
they are both incredibly valuable on the ice in different ways.
I would agree.
I also think that is why Shane can't wing and Ilya can, but we can get into that later.
You would have him center me?
Me?
Never mind.
I love that. Oh god. Okay, so again, here we get JJ with the casual homophobia.
Yeah.
Animal shit show cocksucker.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Which is just a brutal reminder. Shane is feeling very tender sitting here watching this man that he is starting to have very serious feelings about, and hasn't talked to him since their spat at the Olympics. And he is feeling emotional watching him at this career high. And in the background, his best friends are referring to him using homophobic language. And so, yeah, that's
They're also like,
whew.
when Hayden's like, oh, Shane hates him more than any of us.
Mm-hmm.
Not true.
Like, well, maybe if you stopped getting your wife pregnant, Hayden, you would notice other people.
Get off her, Hayden.
The tears in Shane's eye, the chin trembling, watching Ilya win.
Those weepy, gay, yearning eyes.
Bottom eyes. Every time I see Shane make this face, I hear Hudson Williams in my head, like, lover, you should have come over, and you should be a man, and you should be a top, and I'm on my knees waiting for you. Oh, God. This is, like, when I watch this, I'm just like, where is Hudson Williams? Because that's not Hudson Williams.
That's not Hudson Williams.
It's crazy. Oh, God. So Ilya does, thank you to my Russian friend confirming, he does say, for you, mom, when he wins the cup. Little rain on your parade, he does mispronounce mom, but that's okay. He kind of says it more like French with the stress on the second, like mama. It's mama in Russian, so.
And he's been hanging out with Shane too much. That's how we'll rationalize it. He's adopted the French from Shane.
So it's now summer 2014. We are at the awards show in Vegas. Let me give you some book context. This is a bonus chapter from the book. Okay, very important to go read this, I think, on Rachel Reed's website if you have read the book, or if you haven't and you want insight into Ilya. A lot of the internal monologue that I think we get is unfortunately Shane-centered, but I will say I think that Heated Rivalry is Shane's book. I think that The Long Game is Ilya's book.
Oh, yeah,
so,
I agree.
But Ilya is not late because he was with someone. He is not late because he was running late. He was perfectly on time. He is late because he gets there and thinks, I'm going to be totally fine seeing Shane Hollander, sees him, panics, and runs to the bathroom to hide. Because his feelings are too big. So that is why Ilya is late. Because he's scared to see Shane.
Relatable.
So, we do get like a call out. We don't see the watch, but he says, nice watch. They give this to you for free, which is Rolex, maybe?
I assume.
And yes, the answer would be yes.
Shane would kill you to actually wear these fucking watches, my guy.
Yeah, Shane, please.
You're getting paid to wear them, like my guy.
This show was made with $20 in a dream. They can't afford a Rolex.
I also really liked how good the acting is that they're able to act like bad actors while putting on an accent.
Nothing is funnier to me than actors acting like they can't act.
Oh my God. Also, hockey players are so bad at this shit, especially because they all have such heavy accents. You go watch like commercials that they're in and they're like, join us and stream our game live on this app. We're so excited. And it's like, oh my God. So I just thought it's great. In the book, Ilya does not grab the butt. He does, like, touch the back of Shane's neck, though, as he's taking his hand away. He does, like, graze his fingers over, and Shane's
the
like...
The neck grab is crazy, by the way.
Yeah. You mean the butt grab or the neck grab?
No, the neck grab. Like, the way that he grabs him by the neck to take the selfie, I was like...
It's the hot version of our meme from The Pit, where, you know, every time Robbie grabs Whitaker by, like, the shoulder...
Another note that we find out from the book is that Ilya does still have these photos saved. He took them on his phone. And these are, like, he and Shane delete their texts to and fro and, like, photos and stuff. But
he has these in a
locked
locked
folder.
These
photos. Yeah, he does. So Shane rushes off to the bathroom. Ilya follows him. And my note here is just, Hollander, you're having panic attack. Ilya's he's trying so hard. He's had this moment to like center himself that Shane has not had. So he's trying so hard to put up this indifference. And I'm just like, God damn, like Russia did a number on this kid.
Yeah.
This trip to Russia was not good for him. Because you think about the fact that normally his trips to Russia are for the summers. It's not to go play hockey for Russia. Now he went back to play hockey for Russia. And this whole thing has just been a nightmare. Because also, Shane was there. And the way that Shane very clearly feels so neglected in this scene, like, I'd see a lot of people who are like, yeah, what the fuck, 6 months? And I'm like, did you forget the years that Shane spent ghosting Ilya?
Yeah.
Hello? So, but the emotion in this scene is insane. I will say, I wouldn't go so far as to get wow genetic tattooed on me, but I am like, I've never heard a softer delivery of anything in my life.
No.
No, but the my dad likes the New Yorker is so like, why are you thinking of your dad at a time like this? Get David
Being boring
Hollander
is
out of there.
genetic. Oh, being boring is genetic. But
And
no,
Shane folding like a lawn chair once again.
Yeah,
Once
no.
again.
Suck my dick, you suck my dick. Also, straight from the book. Incredible,
No,
top
because
tier.
he goes in with so much fire. He's like, "You've been ghosting me. I don't know what to do with all
What the
this."
fuck
And
do
then,
you want from me?
yeah, the second
Please.
Ilya challenges him at all, he's like, "Okay."
And I think it's because he's uncomfortable with being angry. I don't know that Shane is. I think that, like, in this scene, Shane is very angry. But I will say that I don't think that that is a comfortable place for Shane to be emotionally. He doesn't like that. He doesn't even fight on the ice. Like, he's not a fighter. Ilya will take a bunch of penalties. Shane is not that guy.
No.
And so I think this is a very uncomfortable place for Shane to be. And so the second that he can have an out, he does. But also I think that's because he's not in a place with his relationship with Ilya where he trusts that he's allowed to be angry and hold on to it. There are moments later in their relationship where they will have fights and they will be pissed at each other and, you know, like, oh, I don't want to talk to you right now. But that's not, I don't think they're at a place where he trusts that, like, he can have a grudge and still get back into.
He's so me.
Yeah. It's like, I can't fight with my friends because what if they don't love me enough to not be my friends again? You know?
Yep.
Which is how I know we have true friendship, because I was a total bitch to Mal earlier this week. And when I called her and I was like, I'm really sorry, she was like, I forgot.
I was like, no, it took me a moment to be like, wait, what are you talking about?
When were you mean to me? What?
I just thought
I
it was
mean
hot,
to Robert
Camille.
on purpose, but then I mean to Robert on purpose, but then I send photos of myself laughing because I'm worried that Robert's not going to understand that I'm joking.
No, I understand.
Okay.
We love to bully Robert. It's fine.
Yeah. So this is a great example again of, like, Shane avoiding eye contact but constantly staring at Ilya's lips. I will point out that I don't think that Shane means this as, like, a move. I just think that it's comfortable for him because he clearly wants to be looking at Ilya, because if you were in love with someone, you would also want to be looking at them.
Yes.
Or if you were falling in love with someone, or you barely ever get to see this person in person, you barely ever get to, like, smell them and feel them and be in their presence. He wants to be looking at him, but the eye contact is too much. And so he's but I don't think that, like, that's a move, right? Is to look at someone's lips.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Shane ever really means it that way. Even in the cabin, I don't think Shane means it as a move, or in the cottage.
He's just looking at him.
He's just looking at him.
And also he wants to kiss him, so win-win.
So bad. So bad.
So bad.
Yeah. And so I also love that when Ilya says no, there is the pause beforehand in which they get very physically close, and it's a very comforting, like, put your head on my shoulder kind of a, like, tuck your face into my neck. I literally heard that in my head. It's a very physically comforting thing before he says no, because I think he is learning that he doesn't want Shane to feel like he's been slapped in the face. He's not being rejected, and he's trying to physically convey, I'm not rejecting you, before he says no.
I'm not rejecting you, I just want more than a quick blowjob in the bathroom.
Yes, exactly. Like, because if they do blowjobs in the bathroom, with the way Shane is, it's 30 seconds tops. Like, so that's not enough for Ilya. Ilya wants more time.
And I mean, I also think that this, like, what's the word I want to say? Meeting up in the bathroom here and doing something is also riskier. And Ilya no longer wants that risk.
Right.
Like, he wants time with Shane, and it's not like the thrill of meeting up in these secret places anymore.
Yes. And I think that it's also, we do get that mention in episode 6 of, like, that's not what this is. It was at first. But I also like that, and we'll have to talk about this when we get there. Some people did not want the phone call scene to stay in episode 6. I think it's very funny, but story-wise is actually incredibly important. So we know that, like, Ilya has this insecurity the entire season that, like, I am a thrill. I'm not a partner to Shane. I am a thrill for him. We are not equally matched here because I am head over heels for these stupid freckles. Like, I can't. So, why do you guys think that Shane is so emotional?
Because he's got those weepy bottom eyes that he's always
Those
he's
weepy
always
bottom
teary.
eyes that are yearning. The
I almost
yearn.
kind of took it as like a sensory processing kind of a weepiness. I don't know if you guys get that way sometimes when I'm like
Uh-huh.
when there's a lot going on and there are loud sounds, I'll have like tears in my eyes and I'm
Yeah.
not like crying, but I'm just like like
Yeah.
I'm crying now because
Well,
there was
and
a
I
loud
also
sound.
think, like, I'll cry when I get frustrated sometimes. And I think, he came into this very angry and frustrated, and I don't know that I think he's leaving frustrated in a different way. And so that also could be part of it.
Do we think that does Shane ever like actually cry like down his face in the entire season?
I don't know that the tears ever really fall.
Maybe in episode 6 or episode 5.
Oh, I think when he's talking to his mom in episode 6, I think there are tears.
Yes, I
Yes,
think that's
yes,
what it'll
yes, yes,
be.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, you're right. He's got those big, thick, wet lashes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Eh,
no. I just, yeah, I
Shane,
think that
baby.
there's something to be said for the fact that like the tears don't fall up until that point. I think is a this might sound weird to certain people, but like that's a very specific artistic choice to
Mhm.
not actually like cry down his face because Ilya does multiple times cry down his face, like the tears roll out of his eyes multiple times.
And I mean, a good cry is cathartic. And
Uh-huh.
so I think
Shane is, yeah.
Shane is bottling up and suppressing a lot of things. And I think
He's
one of
bottling up
them
and
is,
bottoming up. Like,
yes, one of them is like the crying. I think like it's his feelings for Ilya, his sexuality, his just
the
all of it.
pressure.
Like it's
Yeah.
just building, and like, I don't know, to have him like finally cry, I think is a big thing.
And to have his mom be the one there that's, that's very, but yeah, I there's something very, very incredible about the choice to make sure that those tears don't fall until episode
Mhm.
6.
Right.
It's very much like I'm literally bursting at the seams every time he gets near crying. So yeah, that's whoo, boy, oh boy. And also, you have to like when you've got tears in your eyes like that. That also you have to consider the fact that like Hudson has to make sure he's not blinking much because they will fall if he does. So that's very intentional movement, you know? So amazing, amazing work, Hudson Williams. We're obsessed with you, you little freak. Another bonus chapter note, once we go up to Ilya's penthouse, is that the reason that Ilya is half undressed and drinking vodka is because he goes up to his room and then he starts thinking about the fact that Shane is going to come up there, and he starts like freaking out and overheating, and he's like, "Oh my god, I got to take the
This
bow
is
tie off. I
his
got to get my
version of
jacket
trying
off.
to
I
put
got."
on a suit for the hookup. Like,
Yes, he's panicking.
but
He's like
also it gives
overheating.
him so much big dick energy in this scene when
Oh
he's
my
got the
god.
shirt
It's
open and he just
and the
like
arms.
puts his arms out. I was like, oh my god.
Where's that meme, Robert? Still, unfortunately, still attracted to men. I'm like, push me off the balcony of this hotel because Jesus Christ. Oh my
I'm not even
god.
attracted to men, and like this scene is the closest I get. Like,
Oh
it
my
is so
god.
real.
Oh my god, it's insane.
I'm like, would I?
For Lily? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Listen,
god.
fictional men don't count. Fictional men don't count.
There you go. There you go. So the chair drag heard around the world, of course. I want to clarify again. I think there are so many things with fandom that get like twisted or misunderstood or misread. When they say that this chair drag was improvised, they're not saying that it wasn't in the script and nobody planned for Connor to grab the chair and drag it across the room. They just mean that they could not find a sexy way of Connor moving the chair until he was like, what if I drag it? That's what they mean by improvised. There is very little that is actually, when someone says they improvised something, they came up with it in the dressing room and discussed it with the director and the other actors in the scene, especially during sex scenes when they say, oh, that was improvised. Not what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So, to be clear, yes, the getting the chair from the living area to the bedroom is intentional, scripted, whatever. It was just, how do we do that? So I'm just thinking about the clip of Connor in that interview going, come this way, and like picking it up. Like, like crab walking the chair.
That would have been so sexy. We were robbed.
I can do squat too. So can you guys believe that this is the first scene that they shot for the show?
Which is
That's
wild.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Chemistry from the fucking gate.
Bro. Editor Camille here to say that Hudson Williams has since clarified in an interview that this isn't exactly true. What they meant was that this was the first intimate scene that they shot. This was the first scene where he was nipples out and stuff. Just wanted to clarify. Oh my god. And they did their chemistry read over Zoom.
That's wild.
And then I know there was a quote from Hudson that went viral that he was like, when he did his chemistry read with Connor, he talked to Jacob afterwards and he was like, I don't know, something about that man. I thought he was going to pin me down and fuck me. And Jacob was like, well, that's what we're looking for. And that quote went kind of viral at first. I haven't heard it in a while, but just so you know, but I love that. I love that it was I love how honest their storytelling is and how honest they are about the sexuality and vulnerable in that they can just say what they're actually thinking and feeling. And I think that is the kind of chemistry that you would want between actors who are going to convey this. I think that the sex scenes really come to life, especially because we know that Hudson and Connor very much really love each other. They had never met before the show, and then they did, and they were like, oh. And Connor has referred to Hudson as being one of his soulmates. Like, just so sweet. And then, like, Hudson talks about how, like, there were certain things and certain risks he took in the character that he wouldn't have done without it having been Connor with him, because he was like, this my best friend in the whole world is doing this with me, and I would not have taken these risks and done things the way I did them without him there. Because he says that Connor's superpower as an actor is making you present with him. And so I thought that was really beautiful and well stated. Somebody pointed out online that when Shane starts to touch himself, he is doing the things that Ilya does.
The tit grab.
The tit grab, hand on the neck, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh god. Ilya is Shane's entire sexual awakening.
Uh-huh.
The most diabolical line and like the most Holinov line of it all is, do you want to know how it feels holding the cup?
Toxic top Ilya.
No,
He's rattling his cage.
He's rattling the cage. He's saying, I can tell you're uncomfortable.
So I'm gonna be a dick to like kind of get a rise out of you. Yeah.
Yes, I want you to feel that competitiveness. I want you to show me how good you are. Like, I'm rattling the cage. Like, come on out. Come on out.
It's all right. Shane will know what it feels like soon enough.
You'll notice, I think, if you look at all of the times that Ilya makes fun of Shane or teases Shane, they are directly following or in a situation where Shane is somehow feeling too laced up or uncomfortable. And I think you'll realize there's a pattern there of Ilya being like, come out and play. It's okay. Like, you're safe here. It's just me, you know?
We're having fun.
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask, what was the very first, like, on social media after the show dropped, what was the very first photo, clip, GIF, whatever edit that you guys saw of this show?
I wasn't really on Heated Rivalry's social media until after you had shown us the first episodes, but I'm really trying to remember. I think the first clip I might have seen was, if I'm being completely honest, I think only because I started paying attention, the first clip that I've really noticed and paid attention to might have been the so you divide it in half, you can't do math.
Really?
That might have been it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You haven't been in the algorithm at all until last week?
Not
Robert,
really,
that's crazy.
That's insane.
Which is funny because all my accounts follow various Heated Rivalry accounts, and it's like, no, I didn't get anything on any of those accounts until recently.
Yeah, because my first one was Camille. When you obviously like sent us the butts, but when you posted,
that's true. No, Robert, it was that.
Yeah,
was it not that?
Yes,
had you heard of the show at all?
No, I hadn't heard about the show.
Okay.
Even when you sent that to me or sent it to us, I was like, I still don't know the context.
Like, what is this? Yeah. No, you posted the clip of Ilya like fist bumping all his teammates and saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you."
Good job, I love you.
And I was like, oh, this is kind of cute.
That's amazing.
That's the first thing I remember seeing.
So we have a mutual friend Norris, and she loved Heated Rivalry. And when it premiered, and she's Canadian, so she's very proud of the show. And she posted right after the Vegas scene, I think the very first thing, and so she introduced it to my timeline, and then I fell into the pit of Heated Rivalry, was the fuck when he's sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because as a romance novel girly, you know that line is in like every good romance novel. And to hear a man actually say it accurately,
crazy. That, and also like the italicized O that you get sometimes in like fanfics and romance novels, like like
God, Connor Story, you're killing me, bro. That's like, I don't understand. I texted a friend last night and I said, I think it's our, no, I swear to God, I texted Nat from No Context the Pit, and I was like, if I had as much riz as these two guys did at their age, I would have like 5 kids already.
Oh, I would have been
dead
a menace. Been awful.
Insane. I don't look at, like, looking at Connor's story in that moment, I'm like, there's no way you're a 24-year-old. But he was, like, in real life, 24, and I'm like, insane to embody that sexuality. That's bananas, bro. Oh my God. So, the Vegas scene saved us all, really.
Again, I'm not attracted to men, but this scene is the closest that I come. I'm gonna be so honest with you.
Oh my God. I love this. Thank you for your honest input. Okay, and I was trying to find the best way to word this. I want to point out for people who are misinterpreting, Shane is not driving stick in this scene.
Oh my God, Camille.
he's not ripping the rod. He's
oh God.
That's not what's happening.
Oh my God.
There's a bit of a pink in the stink in this scene.
Oh my God.
Is actually what's happening. Book readers know. Yeah, you're so welcome. I just thought it was really important for everyone to know. Yeah. I also think this is the very first time that Shane ever voices out loud something that he wants from Ilya. Huge. Oh my God.
And then Ilya, we get our third folding like a lawn chair moment because Ilya folds so fast.
Like, oh my God. He's like, not done. Yeah. This scene does take a little bit longer in the book. There's a lot more teasing in the scene between the two of them. There's a lot more like chirping, but the way it's done in the show.
He wants that slow hockey player with beautiful freckles so bad it makes him look stupid.
Bro, I could talk forever about the tiny little choices of like sounds that actors make. Like good actors understand that there's a lot more than just like adding a noise in ADR, like a noise of exertion or something, you know, like whatever, or like grunting when they're moving something or whatever. But right before he finishes the vodka and he like grunts just a little bit, I'm done for.
Impeccable.
Give me that pecker bowl. No, so the infamous back arch in this scene, it's been clarified that it's not actually a back arch. It's just the fact that he had to move very technically to keep his pecker covered. And that's why he's like dragging himself with his legs the way he is because he has to keep that covered in the scene. Obviously, like I would love to talk to an intimacy coordinator. I really, really want to talk to Kala Hunter. I've reached out to the intimacy coordinator for the pit. Unfortunately, like there are just certain people who don't want to really talk about that line of work because they do work in very sensitive media with these people. And so some of them are just like, you know what, out of respect for the people that I work with, I don't really want to talk about it. And I totally get that. Hopefully I'll be able to find an intimacy coordinator that will come and talk to us because that would be great. I would really love that.
Yeah.
But there's an intimacy coordinator on like TikTok, and she goes into detail about like the different garments that they use.
Yeah.
How they've changed over the years, like the little drawstring bags, they call them like ballet slippers, and all the different like things that they're actually wearing that get edited out and you just don't notice them because they're edited out in post. And also just like the technicality of, and Connor and Hudson have talked a lot about how they like the sex scenes to them are not sexy. especially when they're filming them, because it's so technical, the way they move every part of their body to make sure that they're obscuring what they're supposed to be obscuring.
It's very choreographed.
Very choreographed, and like very good that it is. So yeah, I'm blown away by intimacy coordinators, especially because they lend. I will say, I think that sex scenes that have intimacy coordinators are so much sexier than sex scenes that don't.
Yeah,
Because
when you
like
know that the actors had a good time filming it, like it's easier to enjoy.
there's an intimacy and an authenticity that gets added to it because it's so choreographed and because there's actually thought that goes into it. It's not just moving around. And then, because like if you're moving around and you're not choreographed, then it's like, it's clunky. That's not like, I'm sure in real life that's fine, but like aesthetically on a show where you're
Yeah.
trying to convince your audience to feel what your characters are feeling, that's not sexy.
Yeah, we don't have time in a show for like people have talked about like, oh, you don't show any of the prep that like goes
Yes.
into having sex.
And Jacob Tierney was like,
yeah,
you
because
want to
that's not
watch him
sexy.
douche for 2 hours? Like,
yeah, like that's not. It's fine. We all know that
Yeah.
those things are happening, and it's fine. We're
Yeah.
allowed a little fiction.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
just a tiny
creative
bit.
liberty. Yeah, and I also just like, I'm like, bro, it's a romance novel. This is one of the things we love about romance novels is that we just get the feelings,
Yeah,
the good stuffs,
exactly.
you know. So something makes me really sad immediately after this is just how quiet and tense they both are.
Yeah.
Shane is like drinking vodka that he hates, and
he did ask for it though.
He did, but then he's like, I hate this. But I just like Ilya's body language is so tense, the way he's like rubbing his face and his nose is twitching. Somebody pointed out recently on social media that you should watch Connor, and every time Ilya's nose twitches, like pay attention to what's happening because he does it when he's uncomfortable. It's a tell. So like his nose is twitching and he's rubbing his eyes and he's rubbing his face and he's exhausted and he's just like doesn't look great and he's smoking a cigarette, and Shane hates the cigarettes and Shane hates the vodka, and he's just like, I'm too tired to complain about it. From the book, Shane is like, I'm too exhausted right now to complain about any of this. And he tries to like bridge this gap with Ilya, and as soon as Ilya realizes like what Shane is getting at, he just like shuts it down.
Yeah, the like, do you even like going back to Russia? And the like, there is no like, I mean, it's home.
Very Slavic. He's just like, it's
Yeah,
just home.
like,
Because home to Ilya is not a person at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a romantic childhood to look at like Shane does. I mean, Shane's an only child, for God's sake. Like, he got all his parents' attention, all of their investment into his hockey and his gear and all of this, and it wasn't to go make his country proud or to make them look good. It was because they were like, he likes this and he's thriving.
Yeah. Well, because to Shane, I'm sure home is his parent.
Yeah.
That's home.
His cottage, his parents' cottage.
Yeah. Ilya just doesn't have that.
No. I'd go so far as to say that Ilya does not have a home.
Yeah.
In terms of a place where he feels safe to be himself. Except for maybe with Svetlana, though in the book, Svetlana does not know that he is bi. I liked that change, though, of course, in the show. I thought that it was a lot better that she knows in the show. If only just because it makes it a little less lonely for Ilya and a little easier to tell the story, to be honest, especially because you can get some of that internal monologue out by putting him with someone who knows. Because if there's not another character in the scene, it's hard to get that internal monologue out. Right. So using Svetlana as the vehicle to be able to do that, I thought was very good. I liked it. Also, just kudos to Jacob Tierney for being like, look at all these beautiful, powerful women in their lives. Who's going to look out for you better than your best girlfriend? I mean...
No, exactly.
I think that throughout this episode, we just get so much of Shane realizing how much he's caring for Ilya. He doesn't really put a name to it, though. He just is like, I'm Shane, and I'm a good person, and I care about people, so I'm going to check in on him.
I care about my good friend Ilya that I hook up with regularly.
Right. And it's not anything other than that. But it's changing. And I think... it takes him a very long time compared to Ilya. You know, the whole he fell first, but he fell harder thing. I think Ilya fell first and hardest. I'm not gonna lie. I know he fell first. I also do think he fell harder. Yeah. But I want to caution myself I want to caution myself with that simply because I don't want people to think that I'm saying that Ilya loves Shane more because Shane is neurodivergent and just isn't expressing that. I genuinely just think that like Ilya's feelings are more desperate. That's what I mean by that. I'm not trying to say that because Ilya emotes differently than Shane, he feels more. Ilya just has like desperate, like primal feelings. He's very protective, very all-encompassing kind of a person.
Yeah.
But like I think that Shane is realizing at this point like that things are changing more than he would like them to.
Yeah.
More than he's comfortable with. Ilya putting out his cigarette and saying I should go to bed, and then as soon as Shane is out of sight, grabbing another cigarette because he's not actually going to go to bed.
Big
He's so
sad
sad.
boy time. It's sad boy hours.
Yeah.
Robert, you made a great point though that he's using his leftover vodka glass as an ashtray.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he does like danger.
Yeah.
Like, damn. So
Do not
the
burn down the
greatest,
hotel.
but it's like, sorry, it was so spicy in here. I burned the whole place down.
Let's just burn the
Y'all
hotel
ever
down.
seen
It's
Shane
fine.
Hollander's ass? Damn. Those cheeks are like flint. They just sparked and, you know. And then again here, my note was like, I like that we're using these unsent texts as an internal monologue.
Yeah.
Because in the book, Shane gets to the elevator and he's like, oh my God, we didn't even kiss. And then it says, quote, with horror, realizes that he regrets that.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
I love that his first text is "See you next season." Smiley
Smiley
face.
face. Oh God, Shane.
He's so sweet. I honestly think that if he had sent that, Ilya might have come out and just kissed him because he would have been so
Yes.
endeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am very much, I've said before, I think that if Shane had sent that text message, I do think Ilya would have come butt naked down the hallway to give him a smooch.
A smooch.
He's so far gone already that if he had permission, he would have done it.
Yeah.
What are y'all thought? What are your thoughts?
I do think it's interesting comparing the ending of this episode to the end of the first episode, because in both cases you have an Ilya who's about to go back to Russia, who is kind of enjoying his last moments with Shane. And in the first one you have like he kisses Shane and Shane is mad about it, and this time he doesn't kiss Shane and Shane is mad about it. Like, make up your mind. Do you want to be kissed or not, boy?
He does. Last time he didn't care, but this time he does.
I also do think last time he wanted to be kissed. He just didn't want to be kissed in a tuxedo in public, but
He's very scared. Not the tuxedo. Jeez. Not the poor tuxedo.
he hates a mess. He can't get his tuxedo wrinkled. Come on now.
I really like that that both of these episodes end in Vegas
Yeah.
at the same awards ceremony.
And you have Shane winning in the first episode, and then Ilya winning in the second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot that gets disguised as sex in this show. And I think the mistake that a lot of people make is to be like, this show is 90% sex. It's smut. It's basically gay porn. And I'm like, it was funny at first, but now I'm sitting here going, okay, if you don't shut the fuck up, because you're literally not understanding. There's actually, someone did the calculations. Overall screen time, 8% of the first season is on screen sex. 8%. That's it. But there is a lot of nuance and storytelling that goes into the sex, especially because, again, we've just proven we can't converse outside of sex.
Right.
Shane finally got to a point where he is asking for what he wants in a sexual context. And then as soon as we try to have a conversation afterwards, we can't do it.
Yeah.
We still can't do it.
At this point in their relationship, that's how they can, that's the only way that the only time that they're ever on the same page.
Yeah. It's interesting to me very much that it's like, what do you think the communication is that is happening during sex for them?
I mean, really just like that I want to have sex.
It's I like you.
Yeah.
You're safe here. It's kind of giving like, I know who you are. I like to be around you. I like laughing with you. I like being vulnerable with you.
And I like having sex with you. Nothing wrong with that.
Actually, there's a lot wrong with that. So much wrong with that.
Man, that's the Russia of it all. No, it's I like, there's a, God, what is it from the first book? The quote is that Ilya says that he loves playing hockey with Shane just almost as much as he loves fucking him.
Yeah.
And he's like, because I love how competitive he gets. I love how riled up he gets. I love how much he enjoys himself.
Yeah.
Because he's a great player. And so they both just like, yeah, I don't know. It's great. I love it. So yeah, I think I get a little frustrated when people just see the show as sex or just critique like of all the things about the show, they're like, well, the sex scene, this. And I'm like, can we talk about something other than the sex scene, though? Because I feel like there's a lot happening and people are totally ignoring it. And it's kind of frustrating. I get that they used the sex to get everybody into it. Like, that's the whole thing. That's exactly what happened to Ilya and Shane, too.
Exactly, yeah.
They got lured in by the sex and then got like, oh shit, now I'm
Got
crying.
absolutely wrecked by their feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
But
get to take that
there's
journey with
so
them.
many, there are so many people who watch the show and just talk about the sex, and that's part of why I like. Again, I will, remind everyone I did reach out and try to get interviews, but I was like, we don't really want to talk about. Y'all saw the email that I sent. I was like, we don't really want to talk about the sex of the show.
No,
we want to talk about the characters and their
We're gonna
feelings
talk
and
about
their
the feelings.
journeys. Yeah. And I'm not saying that to be like, I'm not like other girls, but like, I don't care. I don't want to talk about the sex of the show. I want to talk about what's going on in their characters' heads and these journeys that they're having to go through, So, yeah.
The show of all time, one might even say.
the show of all time.
Our little Wasian prince. Did you guys see that interview?
Yeah.
Hudson is like, I think I've been named like Prince or Princess of Wasia.
He's so funny.
Oh, he's great. So yeah. Any final thoughts?
I love Shane Hollander.
These dudes gay. Yeah.
I love Ilya Rozanov. These bitches gay. Good for them.
These bitches gay. Good for them.
We love you, consent king, bisexual king, Ilya Rozanov. Yeah, wow. Well, if that's all, then so long, fellow losers. So long, fellow MVPs.
Nah, losers.
No. Somebody wrote to us to tell us that it's not pronounced toque, like a beanie. It's a toque. And that's fucking stupid. They were like, I cringed every time you said
Canada
toque.
is a stupid country. Sorry to this man who emailed us.
A toque? Like, oh, Daigle Snipe and Sally Bud, let me put my toque up. Like, fuck off. So, anyway. The Pit Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. This episode was edited by me. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pit Crew Podcast. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes. Our art is by Rand Pacoca. He can be found on Instagram at Rand Pacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pitgroupodcast@gmail.com. Now, this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.